Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video we're going to do, you know what's coming. Godzilla 30 for 30! Yes! Yes. Alright, and this video we're going to talk about it, I guess, fairly interesting topic regarding Godzilla. When I really gave it some thought after the fact, I said to myself, well, this is really going to turn out to be a one-sided match, possibly. But this one, we're going to discuss the baddest Godzilla versus the good-est, or the goody-two-shoeist, or however one. You guys get the point. Godzilla. So when you think about all his iterations, all the eras, it's kind of tough to come down with the baddest versus the goodest. But in my breakdown, I figured it had to be the baddest being GMK. And the goodest had to probably be Showa Godzilla in the 70s. The one that saves the children and fights for good and teams up with the military, like in Smog Monster and like in Terror of Mechagodzilla. Then when you pit these two against each other, it's fairly one-sided. It's fairly one-sided. I would have to say that, unfortunately, villainy is going to come out on top here. I think GMK would pretty soundly beat Showa 70s Godzilla, but you could argue that perhaps if you want to go the anti-hero route, which the name of the video is not anti-hero, it's the goodest. And let's face it, the goodest Godzilla, the most pure-hearted, goody-two-shoes Godzilla was Showa 1970s Godzilla. But yes, the matches do get more interesting once you pit GMK up against an anti-hero like Burning Godzilla or Final Wars Godzilla. Then the match gets a lot more interesting. Then it turns the tide a little bit. I do think Burning Godzilla could beat GMK. I do think Final Wars Godzilla could also beat GMK. And yeah, those are probably the only two that come to my mind that could beat GMK. But it's amazing when you go through all the years and all the generations, how much Godzilla has changed and how Toho has adapted him to the era. It's almost like, you remember watching wrestling and the 90s was considered the Attitude Era, and it's kind of like Godzilla kind of formed that too. You know, he had an attitude during that. You know, he was generally good, not necessarily good. He would still want to come and destroy the city. He would still want to wreak havoc. But if any monster tried to come on his turf, he'd stop what he was doing to take care of business. And in some ways, that kind of helps humanity because, well, it's the lesser of two evils. Instead of having to deal with two monsters, you're dealing with one. That one being Godzilla, but hey, it's better than dealing with two, right? So I think that it's always fun to look at how many changes he's gone through, not even physically when you talk about the suits, but just as a character, as he's developed into an anti-hero. And even I would say G14 was an anti-hero / goody two-shoes, but not in a direct form. Like G14 did kill people accidentally, but in some ways they made it so that it looked like he even protected people. And even though his main goal was stopping the Muto, he never bothered humanity. You know, he never purposefully destroyed cities. He didn't purposefully kill people. So you could say he's kind of a blend of goody two-shoes and anti-hero, which is another, when you sit back and look at it, another very interesting dynamic for Godzilla that we hadn't seen before. You know what I mean? He was always one or the other in Toho. He was either a villain, a good guy, or an anti-hero. And it's interesting when you look back at G14, he was kind of like an anti-hero / goody two-shoes. So, but yeah, unfortunately, I think the goodest Godzilla would lose to the baddest Godzilla, that being GMK, because he was definitely a villain. I mean, come on, this guy handled Baragon, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, and handled them pretty soundly. So I would think that with that kind of challenge, he wouldn't have any trouble dealing with Showa Godzilla from 73. I think 73 would put up a good, or 74, either one, doesn't matter, both the same. It's that era of goodness Godzilla. And yeah, he put up a good fight. He would fight the good fight. That's one thing about the 70s Godzillas. He was very determined, was very motivated to fight the good fight to the bitter end. But unfortunately, his bitter end would be met, I think, would probably, well, I don't know about an atomic blast, but I think he would get pummeled. When you look at what GMK did to Baragon, shoving his foot in his face and tossing him around. Yeah, poor goody Godzilla. But it doesn't matter because there's only one Godzilla in essence, and we get to see him in all different ways, shapes and forms and attitudes. And it's been a fun ride from the beginning all the way up to now. And we'll see what kind of attitude Shin Gojira has when that movie comes out here in the States and we get to check it out. And we'll see how legendary Godzilla's attitude adapts in a couple of years in 2019 when we finally get to see him on screen again. But until then, we gotta wait. What about you guys? Do you guys think there's a different battle that you could come up with when you think about the good-est Godzilla versus the baddest Godzilla? Let me know in the comments. I'm definitely interested to hear about it. Until the next video, this is Rob signing off for ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching ETN. You can follow ETN on Facebook, Twitch or Twitter, or join the Nation Facebook page. Don't forget to click that subscribe button on your way out. You're watching ETN. Share and subscribe.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video we're going to do, you know what's coming. Godzilla 30 for 30! Yes! Yes. All right, and this video we're going to talk about it, I guess, fairly interesting topic regarding Godzilla, but I really gave it some thought after the fact.